this is Brett Ridgway, and I'm here with my good friend
Brian Hain.
and we're co-authors of the new book with our good friend Rick Frischman, Mistakes Authors Make. And this is your Book Marketing Minute. Now, one of the things that I see, Brian, people do all the time is they have this great vision, they have a story to tell, they want to write a book, but they think that their book's going to be a New York Times bestseller or an Amazon bestseller, and they're going to get big royalty checks and big advances, and so they have these delusions in many cases. Now, it doesn't happen, sure, but in most cases it's a delusion because they think they're going to make a lot of money off their book. And frankly, if that's the reason you're writing the book, then that's probably the wrong reason to write a book. And why is that, Brian?
Well, as you mentioned, the likelihood that your book's going to sell enough that you're going to make all your money just off the royalties of that book is fairly unlikely. Is it possible? Sure. And there's a lot of things we're going to be teaching you if you continue watching our videos or even buy our book that will help you with that. But in general, you really need to look at what is the purpose of your book. And the purpose of your book is going to be one of a few different things. And ideally, I think you really need to have an idea of which it's going to be, because you can't do everything with one single book. But is it going to help you grow your list or grow your platform so that you have more people? Is it going to establish credibility so that you are now an authority? Maybe you use it in order to get more speaking gigs out there. Is it going to be something to help promote your services or your other products? For instance, like perhaps you're doing a new children's book and you're saying, well, how am I going to make my money? Well, we have clients that we worked with before who use that as an entree into selling their other DVDs, courses, training programs, all these other things to children. And so they may start with a children's book, or they may want to do an entire series of children's books. And that's a great way of looking at it, is don't think of the book as, I'm going to make all my money from this one book. Is it possible? Sure. But your likelihood is much, much smaller. So what's your reason? What was some of your reasons?
Well, I think that you've got to really give a lot of thought in advance to what is the end game for your book. And most people don't do that. It's like, it's about the book, it's about making money on the book, and frankly, as you said, you're not, in most cases, going to make a lot of money on the book itself. It's what that book leads to, as Brian said. So, if you're writing a book, you need to use that book as a lead generation device primarily to sell your other products and services. So you need to build into your book bounce backs so that you can capture their name and information to sell them those other products and services. Because the real money is the back end. And I mean, a couple great examples of this. T. Harv Eker wrote a book called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, where he basically gave away tickets to his live event. Yeah. And he made truckloads of money by getting people into live events and selling them other products and services. Brendon Burchard gave his book, Secrets of the Millionaire Messenger, away almost. I mean, I think he maybe had to pay shipping and handling. But he pretty much gave the book away because he had a back end in place of additional training that he could sell people, and he knew his back end number. So the money truly was in the back end. So as an author, you've got to decide what is your back end, what are you going to use your book to drive into where you're going to make the real money.
That's a great point. If you want a great example of that, you should actually just go buy our book. And you can do that at mistakesauthors.com. And in there, you'll actually see what our back end is, because it's actually different things to help you learn how to do this very thing, as well as a whole host of other things you should be doing with your book.
Now, where else can people follow us, Brian?
Yeah, you can join us on social media if you go to facebook.com/mistakesauthorsmake, or you're probably watching this YouTube video right now on our YouTube channel. You can certainly subscribe to that, or as I said, come to our website and buy the book. So, thanks.
And that website is?
mistakesauthorsmake.com.
And that will do it for this Book Marketing Minute. Everyone, thank you for joining us, and best of success to you.